Hello and thank you for tuning into Noire Histoir. I'm Natasha and today I'll be discussing The Other Wes Moore by Wes Moore. The Other Wes Moore explores the lives of two young black men coming of age during the same time period in similar neighborhoods and ironically enough with the same name. What are the odds? They both experience adolescent bumps and bruises, but their paths diverge, setting one on the course to prison and the other on the path to becoming a Rhodes Scholar. To keep things simple, because they have the same name, I'm going to refer to the author as NY Wes or New York Wes, and the other Wes Moore as Maryland Wes. The thing that struck me was that both boys grew up without their fathers, yet what seemed to make a difference was the reason for their father's absence and the males who stood in as their role models. New York Wes's mother and father were adults living pretty normalized at the time of his birth. Their presence and seemingly solid relationship provided a stable foundation for Wes's early life. In addition, both of his parents were college grads, which provided some degree of stability if not security. Wes lived with his maternal grandparents for part of his childhood, and they were married for decades. The book doesn't provide much info about Wes's paternal family, but it seems that both of his parents came from pretty stable homes. Maryland Wes's mother and father were teenage parents who weren't in an actual relationship prior to his birth. His conception took place a few months after they met, and his parents had broken up by the time he was born. Wes's father made one drunken effort to insist on seeing and bonding with his son and gave up when things didn't go according to plan. The instability of Maryland Wes's life began with the lack of thought that went into his conception. His parents' example of sex and relationships paved the way for him to also haphazardly father children as a teen with women that he mostly viewed as sexual conquests. New York Wes's father, Wesley, passed away when he was very young, yet he was surrounded by positive male role models in the form of his grandfather and later military school teachers and squad leaders. They held him accountable, discouraged him from doing wrong, and tried to instill a sense of discipline. He had moments in his adolescence that seemed to foreshadow a problematic adulthood, yet his mother made hard decisions and huge sacrifices when she saw that he was headed for trouble. Her direct intervention resulted in New York Wes being removed from an environment that might have swallowed up his potential as he got older. On the other hand, Maryland Wes was mostly surrounded by men who were alcoholics and or involved in criminal activity. His older brother Tony tried to encourage him to keep on the right path, but did so with a do as I say, not as I do approach. Tony's dad was a criminal, and in partially living with him, he became involved with criminal activity. Living the street life exposed Tony to the harsh realities of the drug trade, but also attracted girls and gave him the material trappings of being a drug dealer. Tony tries to teach Wes about how to be a man, but his ideology is dysfunctional and will obviously lead to problems. He has good intentions, but being a teen himself, he's unable to maturely communicate to Wes why he should avoid the streets. Tony beats Wes up when he's disappointed in or upset with him. He also has Wes fight the neighborhood boys as a way to toughen him up and encourages Wes to become vicious at the least sign of perceived disrespect. This teaches Wes that as a man it's acceptable and even expected that disagreements with other men are best resolved through violence. Male acquaintances covered up his early scrapes with the law, rather than telling his mother and ensuring that he was disciplined. Maryland Wes was encouraged to do better than the men around him, but few examples were provided for how this should be done. It was obvious that Wes yearned for his father of his own, as evidenced by the admiration he had for his childhood friend's relationship with his dad. Maryland Wes's mother, Mary, was a decent woman who made some poor decisions in her teens that had long-lasting effects. She was very hard-working, but trying to support two kids as a single woman on a low salary meant that she wasn't home much. Mary was also very young when she had her kids and still partied and dated while they were growing up. As a result, by the time Wes reached school age, he had limited supervision and was mostly free to go and come as he pleased. Maryland Wes's mother and older brother tried, but failed to fill that role that Wes's father should have been playing in his life. On the other hand, New York Wes is under constant supervision, so when he starts going off track, his mom and other adult family members intervene. Maryland Wes's mom is inexplicably naive and fails to notice when he begins getting involved in the streets. Mary is also either at work or asleep when Wes begins sneaking girls into the house. She believes his flimsy explanations of how he obtains clothing that she's not buying, and even when Tony confronts her with the truth about Wes, she refuses to believe him. A major theme in The Other Wes Moore is the importance of fathers and positive male role models in the development of black boys. Yet the story of these two boys also shows the impact that knowledge of and access to resources can play in diverting underprivileged kids from the prison pipeline. The Other Wes Moore is a quick read, but rather simplistic. Yet I think it would be a great book for black adolescent boys and fathers. There's a lot going on here with regards to fatherhood, machismo, family family and Black manhood. The Other Wes Moore could also offer some insight into the Black male experience for women. Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope you return to watch future episodes. For more information about Noire Histoir, visit the Noire Histoir website. There you'll find text, video, and audio for each episode all in one place. Subscribe to the Noire Histoir newsletter to get fresh content delivered straight to your email inbox. You can also subscribe to the Noire Histoir YouTube channel for videos. If you're enjoying the content but would prefer to listen to audio, you can subscribe to the Noire Histoir podcast via iTunes, Apple Music, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, and SoundCloud. If you subscribe, please also take a few minutes to rate and review the show in iTunes. Follow Noire Histoir on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Enjoy the rest of your day.